That I just told you that right now doesn't mean I'm going to do it. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Good morning, Unity. Good to see everyone here. James, what do you think? Okay, here we go. Standing outside the door of love and mercy, you wonder if there's a place there for you. You know there's peace inside, but still you're searching for someone who understands the pain you've been through. Well, the door's unlocked, the lights are on. What are you waiting for? Come on in and welcome home. You are loved to belong here now. No matter where you've been, come on in. You'll find a place of rest in the arms of Spirit. God's waited so long for your homecoming day. God knows the peace you seek and the hurt you're feeling. Spirit wants to hold you and to wipe the tears away, while the Father waits with open arms. And God is calling out your name. Come on in and welcome home. You are loved, you belong here now. No matter where you've been, come on in. Well, there's room enough in the house of love for someone just like you. Come on in and welcome home. You are loved, you belong here now. No matter where you've been, it's come on in and welcome home. You are loved, you belong here now. No matter where you've been, come on in. Oh, come on in and welcome home. You are loved, you belong here now. No matter where you've been, yes, come on in and welcome home. You are loved, you belong here now. No matter where you've been, come on in.
Welcome home, everybody. If this isn't your home yet, it might be, so you just never know what's going to grab you today. I'm Bev Spivey. I am pleased to be here as one of your co-ministers with my husband, Reverend Lawrence Palmer. And it's good to welcome back Jay. So James McCoy, our music director, would you introduce everybody?
Good morning. So good to see all of you. We're very glad to have Mr. John Rose at the piano once again this morning. We have Mr. Peter Wallace at the organ. The one and only Mr. Pedro Barroas at the drum set. And won't you please welcome once again with us Miss J. Rose and Miss Samantha Natalie. We wanted to let you know we don't do this all the time, but Jay has released a new single, and Samantha has music that she's produced with her husband, Mr. Wallace. And they have some of their swag, some of their CDs available for you that will be in the back after the service. We just wanted to let you know because sometimes we fail to mention that These folks are recording artists as well, and they do have music that is out there. This is how fine musicians that we have here at Unity of Pompano.
Absolutely. Thank you, Jane. We are so very blessed to have our professionals here with us, so thank you guys so much. This is our month of still dreaming and imagining. Now, if any of you have been imagining trips, we are welcoming back in our midst today our happy travelers of our head usher and greeter, Rita and Phil DeRocher. They've been away for 3 weeks, and so has Chris up here managing the PowerPoint, and Ron Smith, also away for 3 weeks, cruising all over Europe. So, oh, hi, Ron. He's up here too. Be careful of trip envy, but talk to them. They've been to some fabulous, fabulous places. And glad to have everybody back this morning who's back. And we still have many of our folks traveling and tuning in by live stream. So hello to all of you. And just know that unitypompanobeach.org carries this service, the live stream of it, for the week on the website. So you can tune in later in the week if you have happened to miss it. Oh, back from Portugal. Jesus and John, yeah.
And I just have to stop for 1 second. We just need your kind attention for 1 second. It was Rita's birthday.
Yes.
So on 3, can we all say happy birthday, Rita? On 3, 1, 2, 3.
Happy birthday, Rita. Anybody else want to admit to a June birthday? I didn't think so.
Jane?
Oh, Jane?
Jane and Mark?
Oh, and Mark. Oh, yeah, they're still young enough to admit it. Happy birthday, everybody. Okay, we do have things to do, right? What are we doing here? Vision. We have a purpose here, and after all of my chatting goes for a minute or two, we want to focus in on what we're doing here. And this church has been led by this vision since January 2011. So let's state it together. Centered in God, we create an ever-expanding spiritual community of one. And our mission statement goes along with that as we see each other. Together, we are a spiritual beacon of inspiration, abundance, and enlightenment. Let's pray in. As we take a breath together and feel the warmth of community, and we hear joyful noises of children. It's so sweet to remind us of the joy in life, the many beautiful things we have available to us here in Florida, and the beauty that we experience in coming together now that we've found spiritual community. We support each other in this, and individually we open our hearts and our minds to receive, as we receive insights and inspiration from our music, from our sermon, and just from our interactions with each other. We bless this day, and we say thank you, God, and so it is. Amen. Now, if you're not awake yet, you will be, because we have 6 on our music team this morning. Let's stand and sing David Dance.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Let's celebrate! Let's celebrate! Let's celebrate! Let's celebrate! Let's celebrate! Let's celebrate!
When the Spirit of the Lord comes upon my heart, gonna dance like David danced. When the Spirit of the Lord comes upon my heart, dance like David danced. I will dance, I will dance, I will dance like David danced. I will dance, I will dance, I will dance like David danced. The Spirit of the Lord comes
comes upon my heart, I'll sing like David sang. When the Spirit of the Lord comes upon my heart, I will sing like David sang. I will sing, I will sing, I will sing like David sang. I will sing, I will sing, I will sing like David sang. When the Spirit of the Lord comes upon my heart, I will pray like David prayed. When the Spirit of the Lord comes upon my heart, I will pray like David prayed. I will pray, I will pray, I will pray like David prayed. I will pray, I will pray, I will pray like David prayed.
I will pray.
I will pray, I will pray, I will pray like David
I will
prayed.
sing.
I will sing, I will sing, I will sing like David says. I will dance, I will dance, I will dance like David danced.
Orare.
Orare, orare, orare like David prayed.
Bailaré, cantaré.
Cantaré, cantaré, cantaré like David said.
Bailaré.
Bailaré, bailaré, bailaré like David prayed.
Bailaré.
Bailaré, bailaré, bailaré like David danced.
If you're with us for the first time, know that we don't always start like this, but pretty often we do. We do want to give you a big welcome if you're here for the first time, and if you would raise your hand, please, so that we can give you one of our brochures. We welcome you. And some of you who may be here for the first time and didn't raise your hand, that brochure is available to you in the narthex after the service. It tells about the Unity movement. It gives the information about this Unity Center and our contact information. And there is a slip inside and in the chair backs if you would like to be on our contact list, which is simply email. Leave us with your email and contact information, and we'll see that you get our weekly e-blasts of what's coming up. But always go to the website. It's updated frequently, certainly every week, but during the week as well, unitypompanobeach.org. So welcome, everybody. It's great to have you all here. Yeah. Following this service, as most always social time next door in Fellowship Hall. But if you're here for the first time today, come over there, and we sincerely do want to get to know you and give you a greeting. So plan to socialize a little bit in Fellowship Hall afterwards. We also have prayer available for you. Half hour before the service, we have chaplains available in the first room in the breezeway, the prayer chapel. We also have prayer chaplains available after the service. You'll see them in the wings here. And so take advantage of affirmative prayer through Unity. We have some announcements, and the first one is that this is Membership Month. According to our bylaws, we provide an opportunity to join Unity of Pompano twice a year. Once right before our annual meeting in February, and the other one about 6 months later. So starting today and during the first part down to mid-July, we're going to be having membership information and opportunities. So if you are considering Unity of Pompano as your church home, we would ask that you sign up in the narthex This is simply letting us know you're interested. I know it says on there, application for membership, but don't worry, we just know how you hate to keep filling out papers. So there will be an opportunity to ask you on July 17th. On July 17th is a very important orientation about unity. It's a couple hours, and Lawrence and I and our licensed teacher, Cynthia, will be leading that, and several of our volunteer, Dina, our volunteer coordinator, and several of our ministry leaders will be there to explain anything you might want to know about the church. Our board members are there to explain that portion of it as well. So it's a big deal for us because membership is very important, and so we want to give you every opportunity to think about it. So if you would sign up, and there is a brochure on the desk beside the sign-up sheet. This is kind of the honor system of membership. Rather than bringing you out for a class 6 or 8 times over a period of that many weeks, which many churches do, we ask that you research through the list of things we have for you online, and you can read all about it online. And so if there are any questions about membership, please talk to Lawrence and I or Cynthia sometime, or let the office know what your question is. Okay? We also have a wonderful opportunity this coming Tuesday night at 7 o'clock. The slide says Fellowship Hall, but actually we're going to meet here in the sanctuary so that it's more conducive to quiet and prayer. And Edith will be here with the crystal bowls. So we're looking forward to that experience on Tuesday night. If you have been to crystal bowl meditations where they lie on the floor around the bowls and you would like to experience that, we ask you just to bring your yoga mat or however you do it. We'll be able to sit in seats or lie on the floor, whatever your choice is. So looking forward to Tuesday night with that prayer experience. And then next week is time for the book discussion group to meet. They've been reading Baker Towers, and that'll be next Wednesday night, July 6th. We also have men. Yeah, we have men, obviously. But we have men that get together and have men kind of discussions, which to this day I don't know, and they've been doing it for months.
There's always meat and Doritos involved.
There's always much food involved. So for July 9th, and the men's group usually meets on the second Saturday. So July 9th from 1 to 4, the men are going to have a barbecue, and they're going to share their favorite stories and the food. So men, if you're new to that group and interested in it, please see Mark Anderson, who keeps the flock together, and Lawrence also has information, or Ron and Chris. Any number of the men here would be able to answer your questions about it, so come on out for that. And our summer splash is we've suspended credit classes for the summer, but we still want to keep our Tuesday night group together because we do love coming out and, among other things, socializing together on Tuesday nights. So starting July 12th, for 4 weeks, Lawrence and I are going to be leading a relationship class, and we decided to call it Relationing. We were also toying around with relationshipping, but that's a little hard to say. So it's the art of living joyfully with others. I would also throw in there, it's the art of living joyfully with yourself, because some of you have a lot of noise going on in your head that you listen to, and you're in relationship with it, and I do too, and I'm trying to quit. So come on out on Tuesday night, July 12th. We're going to have a lot of fun discussing all the ins and outs of the many relationships we have, whether it's work, family, social circles, or special partners. So come on out for that. And of course, Power Hour continues every Sunday morning in Fellowship Hall at 9:30. Come out for that discussion time. And then we also want to let you know that the July-August issue of Daily Word is available at the desk in the narthex, $6 for both months, and a good way to start your day. That concludes everything I have to say today. Let's stand and greet each other.
praise you 'cause you kept delivering us. There ain't no stopping us. Never, there ain't no blocking us. Come on and clap your hands with us. Like this, yo, like that, yo. Our God is an awesome God. He reigns from heaven above with wisdom, power, and love. Our God is an awesome God. Our God is an awesome God. He reigns from heaven above with wisdom, power, and love. Our God is an awesome God. You're marvelous and you're glorious. Your love has made me victorious. You took away the fear in us. Now we praise you 'cause you can deliver us. There ain't no stopping us. Heaven, there ain't no blocking us. Come on and clap your hands with us. Like that, y'all. Our God is an awesome God. He reigns from heaven above with wisdom, power, and love. Our God is an awesome God. Our God is an awesome God. He reigns from heaven above with wisdom, power, and love. Our God is an awesome God. He reigns. He reigns. He reigns. He reigns. He reigns. He reigns. He reigns forever and ever. He reigns. He reigns. He reigns forever and ever. He reigns. He reigns. He reigns forever and ever. He reigns. He reigns. He reigns forever and ever. He reigns. He reigns. He reigns. Our God is an awesome God. He reigns from heaven above with wisdom, power, and love. Our God is an awesome God. Our God is an awesome God. He reigns from heaven above with wisdom, power, and love. Our God is an awesome God.
Wah, wah, wah. Wah, wah, wah. Wah, wah. Eddie, wah, wah, wah.
Morning. Good morning. I'm Dan Brightfeller, and I'm reading the Daily Word for today, the title of which is, I Have Faith in the Power of God Working in My Life. The more time I spend with God in prayer and meditation, the stronger our relationship develops. This strengthening provides a base upon which I build my life, just as a house is built upon a firm foundation. Even if the winds of fear blow and storms roll in, I have faith that my house is safe because the rock beneath me is unfaltering. However, during difficult times, I may struggle to trust that God is working toward good in my life or in the world. If I feel defeated because of a challenging situation, I turn my attention to spirit. I focus on the calming rhythm of my breath, and my body relaxes. I do not seek a solution. I simply rest in the presence of spirit. My faith supports me. I feel my trust in God, and I have peace of mind. Scripture reads, there is no holy one like the Lord, no one besides you. There is no rock like our God. Samuel chapter 1, verse 2-2.
And as the prayer chest comes forward, we'd now like to begin a time of prayer and meditation by singing together, Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place.
Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. I can feel this mighty power and this grace. There's a holy hush around us. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence is in this place. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. I can feel this mighty power and this grace. There's a holy hush around us. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place.
I invite you now to find that very comfortable and familiar position for your body. And as many of you have returned from traveling, as Bev and I did recently, you know how wonderful it is to have home to come back to. And the great truth I invite you to embrace now is that we have that spiritual home within us that goes wherever we go. So no matter where we are and when we are, and even how we are, we can turn our attention inward to that place of home that is within us. This place is safe, it is secure, it is always welcoming to us, and Spirit waits on our attention there. So as you've allowed your body to relax, you can also allow your mind to be at ease. Put aside all the thoughts that you have brought with you, and you know that you can pick them all up and take them with you again. But in this time, it is a time of stillness. It is a time of pure being as we are immersed in that inner spiritual home that is within us. So our body at ease, with our mind at ease, our awareness is free to commune with Spirit. This communion can be experienced in many ways. It may be just a profound stillness. It may be sound and color and images, all kinds of things. It is your time. Let it be real. Let it be true. Let it be yours as we share in the stillness together. Now, as you prepare to move your awareness to this time in this space, back to your body, to the here and now, you know that even an instant during which your awareness is immersed in that place you call home, that inner place, that secret place of the Most High, even a moment there brings about transformation and healing. And you know that you can bring with you into your mind, into your body, into your heart, the essence of this experience. And in this coming week, as you choose to, you can return and experience once again the blessedness, the joy, the peace of home. And we call this church home, this spiritual community home together. So to be able to touch that place within us, and to be able to do so in the company of those who walk with us. Allow now a deep sense of gratitude to move within you and to rise as you appreciate this opportunity. And I invite you to take a deep, slow breath in through your nose, hold it a moment, and exhale slowly through your mouth, and then open your eyes. And let us sing together.
Hallelujah, 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 I dreamed the rain and the rains came, soft and easy, sweet and clear. I dreamed the rain and the rains came, and peace spread over the land. I dreamed the rain and the rains came, soft and easy, sweet and clear. I dreamed of rain and the rains came, and peace spread over the land. I dreamed of summer and the winds changed, and the green was easy and the rivers ran clear. I dreamed of summer and the winds changed, and peace spread over the land. And the flowers bloom in the desert, and the air was fresh and clear. I dreamed of rain and the rains came, and peace spread over the land. I dreamed of freedom and the moon rose, easy and the path was clear. I dreamed of freedom and the moon rose and peace spread over the land. I dreamed of freedom and the moon rose and the way was easy and the path was clear. I dreamed of freedom and the moon rose and peace spread over the land. And the guardian stars are shining and the night is bright and clear. I dreamed of freedom and the moon rose and peace spread over the land. I dreamed of heaven and the earth sang, and the sound was easy and the song was clear. I dreamed of heaven and the earth sang, and peace spread over the land. I dreamed of heaven and the earth sang, and the sound was easy and the song was clear. I dreamed of heaven and the earth sang, and peace spread over the land. And the ancient pain is forgotten, and all our debts are clear. I dreamed of heaven and the earth sang, and peace spread over the land. I dreamed of rain and the rains came, soft and easy, sweet and clear. I dreamed of rain and the rains came, and peace spread over the land. I dreamed of rain and the rains came, the soft was easy and the sweet was clear. I dreamed of rain and the rains came, and peace spread over the land. And peace spread over the land. And peace spread over the land.
Thank you.
Thank you, music team. That was wonderful. That song was written by J.D. Martin, and he and his wife Jan would often visit us in my church in Colorado. And the first time I heard that song, I just absolutely fell in love with it. And out of their 2 or 3 CDs that I have, that is the favorite song. So, James, you did a great job. I'd be proud of you. Yeah. I want to commend you for being so smart as to be here this morning. I have an article out of the Sunday paper a few weeks ago, and the headline is, "Going to Church May Be Good for Longevity." This is a study that came out of Harvard Medical School, and if it comes from Harvard, they don't fool around. A recent study in a journal published by the American Medical Association says that those who attend church services more often actually have a better chance of staying alive in the long run. Religion and spirituality may be an unappreciated resource that physicians could explore with their patients. We were a bit surprised initially by the magnitude of the findings. He said they found a long list of positive effects resulting from church attendance. They found numerous benefits associated with attending services. Women who started to services then became more, Women who started going to services then became more likely to quit smoking and less likely to show signs of depression. And one of the team's most striking findings was on breast cancer. Women who attended services were no more or less likely to contract breast cancer, but those who attended services were substantially less likely to die of it. Now, they use words like substantially and significantly in this article, and that's no small thing. So it's nice to have some science back behind what we already know is true. So here's to good health for you and long life. This month has been about imagining and dreaming. We've talked about several dimensions of that, but I'd like to talk to this morning, share with you about imagination and manifestation. Let me share with you some words from Papa Charlie. That's Charles Fillmore, who along with his wife Myrtle co-founded the Unity Movement, and I lovingly call him Papa Charlie because his great-granddaughter did. He says, imagination is the faculty of mind that images and forms. It is the power to shape and form thought. The imaging faculty presides at the nerve center between the eyes, we call the third eye. Through this faculty, the formless takes form. The formless takes form. With our imagination, we lay hold of ideas and clothe them with substance. The body is the product of the mind. What man pictures or imagines in his mind will eventually appear in the body. In the communication of God with man, the imaging power of the mind plays an important part. It receives divine ideas and reflects their character to the consciousness. According to Scripture, this is the opening of the heavens and seeing the angels of God ascending and descending upon the Son of Man. Now, reading these words about imagination opens up a great big huge can of worms with lots and lots of questions about it. We have some support in our understanding of imagination. We have a lot of affirmations that we use to support it. One of them is thoughts held in mind manifest after their kind is the way I was taught it. Bev and I were trying to figure out who it was who originally said that, and we had a number of possibilities, but somebody smart said it. Thoughts held in mind manifest after their kind. That's one of the affirmations that we use to motivate us to use our imagination in a deliberate and a positive way. Another concept that we have that supports our work in imagination is something we call the creative process. Now, what's the creative process? 3 words. This means speak. Mind, idea, expression. That's the creative process. That's the way by which the Creator created. Out of the formless came an idea which became clothed in substance and became manifested. Mind, idea, expression. And that is a principle that we can use in our own lives every day because everything that is came into being through that process. And you've heard people say that before. Before there was ever a church, there was an idea of a church. Before there was a chair, there was an idea of a chair. And that process works unfailingly in our lives. Now, the question comes up for us, though, why is it that I'm imagining and nothing is happening? I've been imagining and imagining and nothing is happening, or at least what I want to is not happening. And that's a frustrating experience. When I read here that the body is the outpicturing of the mind, and what do we have in our mind shows up in our body, that's kind of frustrating when what's showing up in your body is something you don't want. So what do we do with those questions? How do we address those questions? And I have thought about this and prayed about this and studied about this and came to boil some things down. I had a lot of things to think about, but to share with you just a couple of things that will help us in understanding this process of imagination and manifesting, and especially when it doesn't work like we want it to, like we intend for it to. That reminds me of a story. And actually, this is the Bible story. You remember the story of Moses? When Moses was called to lead the people out of Egypt back home into safety, and all that he went through with that, and Moses halting and not wanting to do it, and all round and round. Well, God finally says to Moses, get up and take these people to where I want you to take them. And Moses said, I need some support here. I need some encouragement. I need some motivation. So show me something big. Show me something to give me a buzz. I'm interpreting this not exactly metaphysically, but that's what was happening. You know, when you read the Bible, you have to read in the white spaces. All right, read between the lines to imagine what was really going on. Okay, so Moses said, "You got to show me something. I got to have some support here." And God says, "Okay." And this is what happens. And the Lord said to Moses, "I will cause all of my goodness to pass in front of you, and I will proclaim my name, the Lord, in your presence. I will have mercy on whom I will have mercy, and I will have compassion on whom I will have compassion." But he said, "You cannot see my face, for no one can see me and live." Then the Lord said, "There is a place near me where you may stand on a rock. When my glory passes by, I will put you in a cleft of the rock and cover you with my hand until I have passed by. Then I will remove my hand, and you will see my back, but my face must not be seen." I have loved that scripture from the first time that I read it. It's amazing what's going on here. And how many of you have heard the song about the cleft of the rock and cover you there? Nobody knows that song. You know the song, don't you, babe? Okay. It came from here. So God says to Moses, "My power is too big for you to perceive me, so I'm going to just let you see my backside as I go by." That's not what it says, but that's essentially. And you can take that to a place you shouldn't take it, so don't. But I got to thinking about it. When we see manifestation in the world, we don't often see it like that. How many of you have imagined something and boom, it happened? I still believe that I can say golden delicious and have a perfect apple appear in my hand. And I've said golden delicious and waited a number of times and it hasn't happened yet. But I still believe the principle is true, because I see other situations where my imagination has played out in God's time, not mine. So this idea of seeing God's back instead of seeing God's face, to me, if we metaphysically look at that, it means that I don't necessarily see God working in the moment, but I see the results of it later. I've shared with you more than once about when Charles Fillmore first discovered meditation. And he began meditating. He said, "Well, I didn't get a buzz when I was meditating. Nothing happened. However, my dreams suddenly became prophetic." Charles Fillmore would meditate and nothing would happen in the meditation, but he went to sleep and he would dream about what was coming up. That's how he built his business. He would dream about business transactions and then they would happen in the world, but it didn't happen when he was meditating. It happened when he was sleeping and dreaming. He was seeing not God's face, but God's back. He was not seeing God doing the work, but he saw the result of the work. And that made such a difference to me. It gave me a sense of peace about, am I failing? Am I not imagining right because it's not happening? But waiting to see it manifest later. Now that brings up another question for me, is that why does that have to happen? Why can't I see God's face? And why do I have to wait to see the results? And there were a couple of things that came up for me. One of them is that we aren't able to perceive God working because God works on an energetic level that is beyond our sense of perception. And I've shared this with you as well, that if we took what scientists can call light and put it on a spectrum from that wall to that wall, the amount of that light that you can perceive with your humanness is about this big, of all that over here and all that over here. Same thing with sound. There's all kinds of sound out there that we cannot perceive. What happens when you blow one of those whistles for dogs? You don't bark, but the dog does. You don't hear it, but the dog does. It's beyond your ability. So when God is in the process of working energetically and spiritually and etherically to manifest our imagining, we can't perceive it. We can't see it. So it's happening even though we don't know it and we don't see it happening. Now, that's not terribly comforting because I really want to. You know, some of you are like me. I would have been the one who peeked around God's hand when God went by, you know. God said, you can't sit. And I said, oh, yes, I can. And I want to. And I probably would have fried myself because if I'd beheld the presence of God. But we aren't able with our humanness to actually perceive the working of Spirit out in the world. Okay, that helps a little bit. But I also understand that I'm not able to process everything that's going on either. For something to go from my imagination into manifestation, I have no idea how many steps that involves. Here's a good, interesting illustration. A banker told me about this. When you go to, how many of you bought gas with your credit card? And you go and you get ready and the thing says, slide your card in and out quickly. So you go, zzz, like this. And you think, oh, I can pump gas now. It says, okay, wait a minute while it's authorizing, right? And then you pump the gas. You think everything's happening right there in that gas pump? You know, wherever the bank is that handles your credit card, when you zip the card in there, there's a processor in that pump that sends the information to your bank. It may be in San Francisco or New York. It may be overseas. But that's happening when you go zip, zip. That information gets sent wherever your bank is, and the computer says, can this person buy gas? Do they have enough money? Is the account up to date? Everything they need to know about you is sent back to the pump, and the pump says, okay, you can have some gas. And when you finish, the transaction is sent back to the bank again. Like that. You have no perception of that. And if somebody could tell you every step that was involved and every technical way that that process operates, you couldn't even grasp it. We couldn't. It's beyond our ability to process it. So for me, that's another reason I don't see the process between my imagining and my manifesting. It's beyond what I can comprehend. And to me, that's kind of exciting to know that I'm involved in something that amazing. And something that is beyond me, I get to be a part of it. And there's something about that says, yeah, that feels really good. Mind, idea, expression, operating on that amazing spiritual, energetic level, and I get to play with it. I get to be a part of it. So the bottom line I came to for myself, what do I do given the fact that this stuff operates beyond my perception and beyond my ability to process it? What do I do then? The first thing you do is to perceive everything you can. Listen to everything that is yours to listen to related to your spiritual life. Look at everything is yours to see related to your spiritual life. There are things you can't see. Well, that doesn't keep you from seeing everything that you can. You can't process everything that's going on, so process everything that you can. Take your understanding as far as it will go. Don't worry about the fact that there's more. That's inviting for you. Don't worry about that there are things going on that you can't even begin to understand. Understand what you can. Do what you can with what you have. Somebody said that was a song or something, wasn't it? So perceive everything that you can perceive. Listen and read and study and think. And then process those things. How does this fit in my life? What does it mean to me that the creative process is in effect? What does it mean to me that I get to see God's back and not God's face? You may not process everything out there, but you can process everything in here. I've done it myself sometimes, but I've often talked to people who get hung up in worrying about what they can't do. That's one thing about Christianity that I liked when I was even recognized as a kid. That if we spend all our time talking about what we shouldn't do and can't do, all our energy is going to be spent there. But what if we focus on what we can do and what is ours to do and not worry about that other stuff? Spirit's going to take care of the unseen things. Spirit is going to take care of all the intricate, amazing things that have to happen between your imagining and the manifesting. Spirit will take care of that part. We need to take care of what is ours to take care of. So once again, perceive everything you can related to your spiritual life. Read, listen, think, process, and see how all of that relates to you. Not to somebody else, but to you. What does this mean to me? You see something that doesn't seem to make any sense to you, you know what you do? Put it back where you got it and leave it alone. And when you find something that means something to you, something that vibrates, resonates with you, then grab it and hold it and internalize it, make it yours. There's so many opportunities to do that. When I was in college, my first year of college, taking Introduction to Philosophy. Now, I was a good Southern Baptist at that time, and even though I had a finger outside the box a little bit, I was still pretty much traditional. And I was studying philosophy. And some of the ideas that these ancient philosophers had didn't quite jive with my Southern Baptist upbringing. And I was having some real problems with this. It was like I had to either believe everything they said or believe nothing. And when I realized, wait a minute, I don't have to believe them. I can take one concept out of this whole writing of Plato or Aristotle or any of the other ancient philosophers. I can take what I need out of that and leave the rest of it alone. I have the authority to do that. Just because they were smart and they wrote a book and people remembered them, that's good. But I can say, this doesn't apply to me. This doesn't make sense to me. And I've done that ever since then when I read a book. I've learned to sense whether a book's going to have anything good for me or not. So I'll read, and the first chapter's kind of boring, second chapter's kind of boring. In the third chapter, there's one paragraph that goes, bam, there it is, just jumps off the page. Fourth chapter, fifth chapter, sixth chapter, the rest of the book's boring. Okay, that one paragraph I claim and put the book away. Leave it alone. When somebody's talking to you. Now, here you take in every word because you know what drops of wisdom you have here. But now you get it, right? However, even in a place like this, if you get one word, if you get one idea, if you get one concept out of what happens here, then take that and let the rest of it go. You can do that. You have the authority. So one more time. Perceive everything you can related to your spiritual life and to process it for yourself. And don't worry about all the rest of it. This is imagination in effect. Thoughts held in mind will manifest after their kind. Thoughts spoken to the face of God get manifested as we see the back of God. That is our power. That is our authority. Mind, idea, expression. Imagine. Bless you, friends.
You know, it really is a joy to get together here and move along on our path together, come out for classes and other events and get to know each other. And, you know, we offer that kind of support to whatever degree you want to take advantage of it. This is our time, though, to give back. We so much believe in opening our hands to give and also to receive. And as you know, you always receive so much when you give from that cheerful heart place. So we appreciate every one of you who has been contributing to Unity of Pompano. We thank you all for your gifts today, for your attendance, and for your service. And Lawrence and I, the week we were gone, the second week we were gone, we were at the Unity Annual International Conference in Kansas City. And I was just struck by one of the slides that they used, and I thought, oh, it's time for us to change up a little bit from good is mine. We don't want that to get old. If you're first time here with us today, we've been using an affirmation for our offering that involves always seeing the good, expecting the good, and knowing the good is here for ourselves and for others. But we're going to just change that up a little bit now, beginning with this quote by Charles Fillmore. Read it together with me, please. The spiritual substance from which comes all visible wealth is never depleted. It is right with you all the time and responds to your faith in it and your demands on it. Now let's take that as our offering prayer and into our hearts as our affirmation together. The next one. Okay, we affirm together. I believe that the spiritual substance from which comes all visible wealth is never depleted. It is right with me all the time and responds to my faith in it and my demands on it. And so it is. Amen.
Tired of living life in black and white. There's so much in between, like a rainbow in the sky, crying to be seen. When I open my eyes to find inspiration, I search for the best I can be. If I settle for less, I won't be the best I can be. When I dream in color. I see a love for each other. I'll give you so many good reasons to capture a dream. Oh, life is short, but can't be bought. And time is a very precious thing. Well, I wanna go to where I've never been and see what's never been seen. In the midst of the morning, I won't take for granted there'll always be another new day. Got to live for each moment and never let time slip away. Oh, when I dream in color. I see a love for each other. I'll give you so many good reasons to capture a dream. Ooh, yeah. If I was unaware, if I didn't care about people, places, and ways, how could I live a life so full and satisfied, not knowing how to dream? When I dream in color. I see a love for each other. Oh, show me a child who never has seen a vision that shows what love really means. I'll give you so many good reasons to capture a dream. A dream.
That's Sam and Jay. That's right.
We hope that we can send you off with that inspiration into your week, to be aware of what you're perceiving, to process that within yourself, and see what you can dream up for the rest of this week, next month, and beyond. We invite you to have prayer time with our chaplains. Dina is here, and Wade, Cynthia over here. And they would love to have prayer with you, and you don't have to have anything specific. Just sit down and pray. I see some of our kids here. Do any of our kids want to come up on the stage? Mia does.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine.
How are you?
This little light of mine,
What's your
I'm
name?
gonna let it
Yeah.
shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
Why am I not on? Now, I promised that you kids could lead us because you know the prayer for protection, don't you? What's your name? Your name tag says you're weirdo duh. But you're not weird. You're sweet weird. Okay, everybody, let's stand while not weirdo duh leads us in our closing prayer for protection. Okay, ready, everybody? Let's close it up today with joy. Okay, the light of God.
The light of God
God
surrounds
surrounds
us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us.
And the presence of God watches over us.
Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be the joyous now. To take each moment or live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
God bless you, everyone. Have a great week. Jay and Sam have CDs for sale in the back.
Our God is an awesome God, He reigns from heaven above. We win strong power and love. Our God is an awesome God. Our God is an awesome God, He reigns from heaven above. We win strong power and love. Our God is an awesome God. You're marvelous and you're glorious. You love us to be victorious. You took away the fear in us, and now we praise you 'cause you have delivered us. There ain't no stopping us. Never, there ain't no blocking us. Come on, the clock, join in with us. Like this, Lord, like this, Lord. Our God is an awesome God. He reigns from heaven above. We